Alright guys, welcome back to another video. What we are after today are soft shell clams. Some people call them steamer clams, some people call them main steamer clams, whatever you want to call them, but they're considered a soft shell clam, and they are absolutely delicious. Here's what I look for out on the bay at low tide. These are these little black holes, and at the bottom of each one of these holes is hopefully a clam. So how I start, guys, is I start by digging a hole in the mud. This is essentially just creating a place for me to put the rest of the mud, and it also creates like a lower shelf, so that way when I turn over the next shelf of mud, it has a place for it to go. There's a little sea worm that I found. Those things are all over out here. This mud is quite rocky and creates for some really hard digging. There's the first clam that I found. Apparently I must have missed his breathing hole, but luckily I didn't hit him with the fork. If you do hit these things with the fork, they'll shatter like glass pretty much. They call them soft shell clams for a reason. So once I have enough of a hole dug down, I'll start by taking a shelf of mud off from behind where those little breathing holes are. Turn it over like that, and as you can see, I got at least 2 clams out of that one alone, and those look pretty good to me. Make sure I didn't miss any more. Like I said, if you hit them with the tines of the rake, you'll shatter them, so gotta kind of be a little careful with it. And then I'm just repeating that process as I go. Turn over another shelf of mud, pick the good clams out, and throw them into the basket. And these clams, they also can throw water at you from quite a ways away. As you see here, I get hit in the face here in a minute.
Right in the face.
And that actually happens quite more often than you think. This digging, I actually was able to get pretty much my limit all out of one little hole that I started in. There was a good cluster of clams, and as you can see right there, that's all the area that I took to get them. You can see the different colors in the mud there, from where the mud's undisturbed to where I was digging through. It only took about an hour and a half to get my whole limit, which is a pretty good day. There's a couple other spots around that you can get in about 40-45 minutes right now, but I was pretty happy with the results here. And next up, the goal is to start cleaning these things up. It is dirty work, and they are coming out of the mud, so we want to get as much of that mud off as we possibly can. You'd be surprised just how much mud these things hold to them. We have quite a bit more cleaning to do after this. Got a little bit of that mud off though. They're starting to clean up good. Just cleaning off the rakes, getting everything as clean as I can get it before I go. The rake looks like new. And now we're just getting off this area of the bay, and we're going to another spot to clean them up a little bit more. So what I'm doing is I'm getting about 10 gallons of salt water, and I'm gonna put these clams in them when I get home. I'll suspend them over a cooler and everything, and that'll allow them to filter out all the sand inside of them and the mud and everything bad, and hopefully we'll have no grit steamers once we're done. These Gamma Seal lids are awesome, by the way. It's a watertight seal bucket. They're expensive, but in my opinion, way worth it. So when I get them home, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into a cooler with that clean water, and it's quite impressive what these clams can do to water, and I think it was 3 days that I left these in there. And it is important to purge them, and here's why. As you can see, that's what's left from the clean water after you let them sit in there, and they'll push all the mud inside of them out and everything that you can't get with just cleaning them up by rinsing. And this is what we're left with, guys. After 3 days of purging, you should be all clean inside and everything. And I would use this one as an example to show you what they look like when they come from like the beach sand and everything, nice and round and all that. This is what they look like when they come from the rocks. They literally grow their shells around the rocks, which is kind of interesting because, I don't know, they literally conform to what they're inside of. I just thought it was kind of cool. Alright, into the house. We got some boiling water in the pan going. You guys know the deal. And we're just going to steam them today. That's just regular water, and all I'm doing is just adding the clams. They are a little bit cold because they were in that cooler. It's only about 40 degrees outside, so it did stop the water from boiling, but we'll let it come to a boil again and give it just enough time until they open up. As you can see, most of them clams are open up, which to me that's good enough. They're all cooked. And once they're all cooked, guys, here's what you're left with. Just remove the shell from the clam, and obviously you're going to want to get rid of this black sleeve thing on it. It's no good to eat, and you definitely, you don't want to eat that. So get rid of that thing. It'll come off pretty easily. Make sure to just clean it up good. And that's what you're left with. As you can see, you got the clam neck, the belly, everything's there. I ate about half of them with the bellies, but I'm not a total fan of that. So what I did was I removed this guy's belly, and that's what I'm left with. Definitely, that's super clean meat right there, guys. This is absolutely delicious. I dip them into the butter, And really good, guys. They're super sweet. They don't taste anything like a mussel. They don't taste anything like an oyster. And as long as you can get them with no grit, they are absolutely delicious. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know that it's a little bit different than the style of videos that I was doing before, but while I was out there on the bay, all that you would have been listening to is some heavy breathing because I'm out of shape. So with that said, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like and feel free to subscribe for more videos. I will see you guys in the next one.